Hey guys, it is Matthew Lamran with Dogology University. We are a focus-based dog training company located in Canton, Michigan that specializes in boarding school options. Today, we are talking about how do you prepare your new puppy for your home? How do you puppy-proof that home, okay? And we have 5 tips. The first tip is we talked about it, I think, in the last video, when we talked about living in an apartment or even getting it situated with your new existing dog, we have to have an established area for your new puppy to call their own. We have to get a crate. We have to crate train, okay? The crate is going to help us prevent the dog from getting in trouble, from injuring itself, from hurting itself, from getting into things that it shouldn't get into when we can't keep an eye on it, right? It also helps us with potty training. There's the adage of no dog's gonna where they sleep, okay? And with the crate, if we size it properly, that's what we're gonna be able to do, is we're gonna be able to teach the dog or the puppy how to hold their bladder. And we're gonna be talking about setting up areas for food and water, okay? What we're trying to do here is we're trying to establish the food schedule, but in the appropriate areas. When we have our dogs eating wherever they want, that's where we can start creating a perceived food shortage, and then that's where we get the resource guarding, possibly, right? If we set up designated food areas and water areas, then our dogs, our puppies, don't have to figure out, don't have to start begging, they don't have to go into the kitchen, they know exactly where to go when it's feeding time or they need to get something to drink. It's always good to set up that feeding and water station. The next one, hey, we got a bookstore here on campus. Stock up on that food, stock up on them treats, stock up on them toys, and give the puppy the opportunity to release the chewing behavior, the nipping behaviors on something appropriate. Easier to redirect when you have a multitude of items and textures and toys to redirect to. So one example, someone's like, oh, my puppy is chewing on my shoe, and I try to redirect with a bone. Well, that's a totally different texture. Why would your dog go from a leathery, soft, givey texture to a bone where they're really working their teeth, right? So if we have a plethora of toys and treats and items, then we have anything that we can pull from our toolbox, right? And we can try to match whatever it is that they're chewing on, and it would be an easier time for us to redirect. Number 4 is going to be scheduling an appointment with your veterinarian. This is also going to be important if you have dogs with long coats, scheduling appointments with your groomer, or if you know that you're going to have issues, cutting nails, or staying on a grooming schedule, getting that set up, and then getting your puppy comfortable with that veterinarian or that professional to where it's not going to be a huge event every time they have to go get seen by the vet or have to get their nails cut or get groomed, right? And so the way we would do that is we would just say, hey, you just got a new puppy, and I would love to come meet you. I've read all about you. Can I come tour the facility? And most of the veterinarians in our area are more than happy to hang out with a new puppy. I know if I was a veterinarian and we have a proactive client, I'm like, heck yeah, let's do this right. And then allow the veterinarian to not just examine, but actually treat and rub and make the experience of going to the vet fun and exciting, right? And if all you do is schedule the examination, the vet is on a schedule themselves where they have to get client to client to client to client, and maybe they don't have the opportunity to take the time necessary to make it a positive and fun experience. And not saying that they're going to do a poor job of doing that. They're going to do the best they can, but they also have other appointments lined up. So do your due diligence where it's just a play session or just a greeting, right? Instead of, we're here to get shots and only shots. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then finally, we put them into a crate. We're getting them potty trained. they shouldn't have free access to our entire home, right? So if we are going to put them in the crate, let's say in the kitchen or in the living room, then when we let them out of the crate, then they only have the opportunity to go into the kitchen or the dining room. And slowly, as they build confidence on ourselves that they're not going to do anything inappropriate when they're unsupervised, then we have the opportunity to open up different rooms. So like our house is set up where we could put our puppy in a living room, giant X pen, and he's getting comfortable in the dining room, and then it's connected to the kitchen. So then the next room he would have access to is the kitchen, and then our bedrooms, and then the hallway, and then the living room, and then the upstairs, and then the basement, right? And each time it's gonna be slower and slower, like gradually going to each part of the house. But over time, he'll have full access instead of just free for all right when we get them. And we're at that point, we're managing the behaviors and we're managing the expectations of how this puppy should be interacting in your home. The next part of that is if there is a mess up, say there is a potty accident or they start chewing on something that's inappropriate in that new opportune area, then we close off and the puppy has to relearn or regain entry into this part of the house. And that's okay. So those were our 5 tips for puppy proofing your home or getting your home prepared for a puppy. The first one is going to be buying a crate. The second one is setting up food and water areas. The fourth one is stocking up on them treats and them toys at the Dogology campus bookstore, right? The next one is scheduling appointments with your professionals for a meet and greet, not just the appointment themselves. And then tip 5 is going to be introducing your puppy to the home gradually in phases. So if you have any questions about, maybe you just got a puppy and you want some professional help from a dog trainer, you can always call 248-290-8396, or you can visit us on dogologyuniversity.com. Please like and subscribe, and remember, training your dog shouldn't feel like combat.